I first learned about the Providence Rescue Mission when a friend of mine, he had been supporting and very active within the ministry, invited me to a banquet they were having. And I went to the banquet, and I had been hanging out with God for quite some time at this point. And out of the clear blue sky, after the banquet, I walked over to Dr. Jean Arthur's table. All the dentists and hygienists and everything was sitting there, and I looked her dead square in the eye, and I said, "I'm going to work for you," because I just knew it was God. I just knew this is where I was supposed to be, and I didn't have a license, didn't know anything about teeth, and it was just, it was just really, really odd. And God started making good on His word, because the word has to go forth, and then everything else lines up according to His word, and this is the result of it. I'm a hygienist, but I'm a hygienist that, I make appointments, I arrange schedules, I do supplies, I handle statistics, I clean toilets, but I take care of people. And that's my favorite part. All these other things, they're superfluous, and it's all to assure that people will get the best care possible, that they'll not be sick, that the work that we do and the interactions we have with them are done in a very healthy environment where they can be built up, spirit, soul, and body. We pray over our patients, and we cry with their jubilation, with their sadness, and rejoice with their happy points and times. But we actually get relationships going with a lot of our patients. We have cards that we get, hang them on the wall, and drawings from kids, and it's really good. It ministers to the whole body. The vision of the Providence Rescue Mission, my understanding is to do as much good as it possibly can to build up a community that's been forsaken by a lot of other people, that a lot of people, I've heard Providence referred to as the armpit of the nation, the state, and Sean has this incredible vision, and everywhere he walks, God honors that. God honors it by providing people over time to, because you can only take what you can handle, and having sandwiches given out, and clothing, and overnight shelters. And this has come into fruition. There's a women's shelter. The Grace House is going to be a safe environment for women with their children, which is like excellent, because when I was coming up, there were no places for women. There was a Victorian mindset, and women were expected to stay at home and be thrown in a closet or whatever, and their fathers or brothers would hide them from the neighbors, and that's not the case anymore. Women are badly abused and badly forsaken, and they really need a place where they can feel safe, and they can get some education, and they can learn that they do in fact have worth. They're very, very important, and people care about them, and it's not for anything other than, we just love them, and they are important because they're important to God. People hear about Jesus. We have guys that come in and they stay overnight, and eventually they gravitate towards the discipleship program, and they have prayer meetings and Bible studies, and they have actual education down in the computer room that goes on. But all that serves as a witness. Once again, it's the building up. It's a building up of the body, and it's a slow process. You may not get it the first time, but we have a lot of people that come back, and the second and third time, they'll get it. We have people in the neighborhood that will come in specifically just because they're hungry. There's no food in their house, and they come in and they have the meals that the guys prepare for them with their hands, and they're treated with dignity and honor, which is very, very important, that you always treat people with dignity and honor. And they're served and they're waited upon at the table, and they don't have something just thrown at them. They have meals prepared for them, chicken and potatoes and vegetables and fruits, and you know, it's very generous. There's a liberality in the giving around here, which is the way it should be, because liberality brings about the equity that is so dearly missing in most of their lives. People can get involved here at the mission in various ways. We have a coordinator, Matt. He coordinates all the volunteers, and whether it's painting walls or washing floors or making beds, we have a place for you. We desperately, you know, have a place for you. You can help us take down walls so that we can build buildings, because we acquired the building next door, and Sean has a vision for that. And, I'm not sure, last I heard it was a medical vision. That's good. People need to be healthy. People need to be healthy, and it's one of the biggest disparities we have in our country is healthy people with the healthcare system itself, and just acquiring food and shelter. Those are basic needs, and Sean is doing that. We have other people that can come and they can fold clothes in the clothing room and sort it out and make it easily accessible for people to find the sizes they need, you know, what the particular item. It's not all balled up, it's on shelves and it's displayed. You can see what you're getting. We can have people that will come in the kitchen and just help prepare the meals. We have a young guy that's come in, and recently he found out that he was kind of in it alone, but he was capable of handling it at this point in time. His name is Matt. He comes from one of the programs within the community that Sean supports tremendously. These people have a hard time adjusting to the community, and Matt's been coming in, and it was really good. And now Paul's in the kitchen, but this was a good, positive experience for him. If you have money, we would love money. You know, money always makes every vision. How does that go? Money answers everything. And it does, because the things that might get overlooked, like socks for people or toothbrushes or whatever the need might be, Sean buys dentures sometimes. He helps people pay for dentures, because everything we do in there is free. We don't charge a dime. Unfortunately, the lab boys want to be paid, and some people don't have them. And how can your self-worth be anything at all if you know you can't smile? How can you be a good parent if you've got a toothache? You know, how can you have a job if you just don't appear proper? I had one guy come in, and he said to me, I was kibitzing with him back and forth, and he said to me, he says, my boss makes me work in the cellar because he doesn't want the customers to see me. And I just felt so bad, because I wanted to know why he's not providing health care for a worker he obviously valued. You know, it was totally illogical. But back to the situation at hand here, a little sidebar, back to the situation at hand here. There isn't anything that isn't gratefully accepted around here. Food, clothing, building items, items to help the dentist. Most of our stuff is donated. A lot of our stuff is donated. Some of it we have to buy. You can come and you can help Roberta with the women. That's a full-time job. You know, there's 1,000 things that can be done around here. Yeah. I'm no different than anyone else. I come up, that's why I'm familiar with a lot of issues, political issues as they apply to us in general, because I include myself among them. And I know Jesus is the answer, but I grew up in a great deal of poverty myself, and I worked construction for many, many years, big construction, Holden, out of Boston. I learned to drink and drug just like the big boys. Where there's big money, there's big drugs, big alcohol. It cost me everything. I remember living on the streets, and you know, that's some of the stuff I'll talk about. I won't talk about a whole lot about it. But I also remember Jesus taking me at 45 years old and making me whole again. I mean, literally making me whole again. He took 15 years off my face instantaneously. I believe in a supernatural God. I believe in a God that can move mountains if it's needed. That he has no problem with any of that, because I needed a great miracle in my life. It was amazing that I wasn't even dead. You know, it was just so hard to grasp because I had been stabbed and shot. I had a lot of awful, awful things happen to me, and I wasn't dead. And so when I got saved, it was like the bomb. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was singing. I didn't even know any church songs. I'm an Irish Catholic girl. And I was singing, I'm yours, Lord. I was just singing and dancing, having a whole party in my bed. But it was great. It's been really good. I've done a lot of work throughout the Eastern Bloc, but anybody can do that work. Anybody, you know, it's humping rice, it's breaking into smaller bags and, you know, doling it out to different places. But I wanted something else. And I didn't want to be around the guys anymore, so I wasn't going to work either. You know, there was a lot. And God, slowly but surely, he led me towards dentistry. Because I can do this job, and I love this population. I do. Just, all it takes is an instant, and everything can change. And it's not a scratch ticket or anything like that. It's a whole life changing your body. I am healthy. I'm 63 years old. I run with the younger kids. Do you know what I mean? Your home life, your relationships, you get rid of the garbage in your life, you get new stuff in that's so much better. Yeah, and I'm here to witness and tell them that's exactly what it's like. That's exactly, you know, you wait and you listen to the Spirit. God is good, and you know, all over the country there are people that really, really need your help. They really need your help. And you don't have to be an astronaut or a space, you know, physics major or anything else. You just need to be willing to go do the stuff other people won't do. You need to be able to, you know, be willing to open up your wallet when he tells you to, and just be obedient to what exactly he tells you, no matter how crazy it sounds, because some of the stuff he's going to say is going to sound totally nuts. That's how I always know it's God. Totally nuts, but it's always God. It's always God, and I try to be obedient and mindful of that, because, you know, when I miss things when I'm not open or ready to step in, and it's my loss. It doesn't mean I don't get another chance. It just means I've lost it for the moment.